right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to our elder apostle, great millstone, rule and teach well. This is Brother Kwan with the great millstone Dallas camp, coming at you with a quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. Pretty much this lesson is going to be pretty much over, offenses, offenses amongst, one another, whether it be your family or friends. It's pretty much going to be like, that's for individuals, that's outside the ministry of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shahi and Great Millstone or other like-minded brothers, on that aspect of it. But, it's pretty much really going to be covered, within, the frame of, if you're amongst a ministry or amongst a brotherhood, okay? As the scriptures say, Yahweh Shai has been a stumbling block and a rock of offense in the nation of Israel. And you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, when we're out there on the highways and byways and we bring out, the mindset, the true mindset of whom the world urgently calls God and Jesus Christ, majority of our people don't want to hear it. They're not willing to, to humble themselves down and take hold of all of what we're saying, and that's fine, because that's what Yahweh Shemel Shah told us what would happen with our people. The Lord told us that they wouldn't listen. So when they don't listen, it's water under the bridge. We've done our part on our end as being prophets of Yahweh Shemel Shai. The Lord will take care of the rest. But also here in the ministry, man, amongst the ministry is a lot more tighter. It's a way different mindset. You got brothers that trust one another, man. So, and when that trust is broken by a member or two or however many, then it's going to be certain things that is going to happen with those particular brothers that can no longer be trusted, and the scriptures speak on it. So I'm gonna get the precepts that the Lord has had me to get, and I'm gonna get them. This is Matthew 11 1 through 6, I believe. Let's go ahead. Matthew 11 and 1. And it came to pass, when Yahushua had made an end of commanding his 12 disciples, he departed thence to teach and to preach in their cities. Now, when John had heard in the prison the works of Yahushua HaMashiach, he sent two of his disciples. He said unto him, Art thou he that should come, or do we look for another? Now, what they're saying, those disciples that John sent to Yahushua to ask if he was that he represents, the Messiah, all right, the one that's been written of old in the Old Testament, might I add, to come, and deliver Israel from their sins, man, and so we can be set up high forever, That's what they were asking him. Verse 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, Go and show John again those things which ye do hear and see. The blind receive their sight, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up, and the poor have the gospel preached unto them. Right. And it says, the dead are raised up. That happened physically as well. Spiritually, that's going into our people being in that dead state, that dead mind state of being engulfed with the heathens' culture, the heathens' way of living. All right. And that dead being raised up is our people putting those, those heathenistic ways away from themselves and coming back to being an Israelite, man. Okay. That's a twofold right there. And the poor have the gospel preached unto them, right? And we're the poor, especially here in Babylon the Great. Hey, we live paycheck to paycheck here. And it really wasn't too much different, in ancient Rome. You had your Israelites that were more well off than others. And that's the same thing here. You have a lot of Israelites that's millionaires, man, billionaires, a hand nitpick of billionaires, but there's a lot of millionaire of Israelite men and women here in Babylon the Great and around the world, but nevertheless, we're still the poor if you want to put up our riches up against Esau's, man. Okay, we're the poor. All right, and that's really more so going into also that remnant of Israel, that elect number, Verse 6, here's the point. And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. Right. Because as the scriptures say, Yahweh Shai, he is against this world, man. All right. The Lord Yahweh, through his son Yahweh Shai, is against the way of the world. All right. The Lord is not for the way that Babylon has pushed his philosophies around the world. The Lord ain't with the whole alphabet community. The Lord ain't with the rulership of the heathen continuing. All right. The Lord ain't with 2/3 niggas. All right. In their way of being here on the planet Earth. All right. The Lord ain't with that reprobate mindset. Okay, if you will, that mindset that's completely void of the knowledge and the will of Yahweh Bashem Shai, man. All right. If you ain't taking hold of these scriptures, reading these scriptures, and applying these scriptures to your life to the best of your ability, the Lord ain't dealing with you, man. All right. The Lord is not dealing. So let me see. Turn at my reproof. I think that's Proverbs 1. Yeah. I knew it was Proverbs 1. Proverbs 1:22. How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn ye at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Right. All right. For the men that's amongst this ministry, you know these scriptures, man. All right. That reproof. Let's see what reproof means. Rebuke, correction, punishment, chastisement, man. So when these things come unto you, as the scriptures say, the Lord deals with you as sons. So don't get all up in your fucking feelings when reproof comes. It doesn't matter how often it comes. Yes, the shit hurts. It doesn't feel good. That's not what rebuke is for. Rebuke isn't supposed to feel good, bruh. It's not supposed to fucking feel good. But hey, when it comes, take it as a good soldier, like the scriptures say, man. Take these chastisements as from Yahweh Bashem Shai as a good soldier. Because at the end of the day, the Lord could just kill you. And if he kill you in that type of mind state that you're in, you ain't getting no fucking crown, man. You would have put all that work in just to be a regular old in the kingdom, which is fine, because you still would be well off, but that would be your status forever, for eternity, because this, like the scripture says as well, this is the last time. There is no more another incarnation and do better. No, bro. Nah, man. This is it. So it's best to get it right now rather than later, I'm get 2 more precepts and then I'm gonna end this out. I didn't mean to go here. Let me see. Sirach. I think it's Sirach. Right. Sirach 4:31. Let not thine hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay. Right. You shouldn't be hitting up bros and however you do, whether it's the correct way or not, hitting up bros for X amount of dollars, and when it's time to pay something back, your hand is shut up. You ain't trying to pay. What type of BS is that? That ain't the way that our apostles and the elders has taught us, man. All right, through the spirit and power, Yahweh Shem Shah, that's upon those men, on down to our elder bishops and elders under elder camp heads under them, and officers under them. That's not how we was fucking brought up, man. Okay, if you owe $1, and that's just figuratively speaking. When I say $1, pay that shit back. Especially when you've been given, you've been getting hella grace and mercy, bro. Pay that shit back, bro. And the scriptures is playing with this. I'm gonna read it again. Let not thine hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay. Don't be no, don't be a hoe ass, don't be no hoe ass nigga, man. There's no other way I can put it, for lack of better words, bro. Don't do that. I'm gonna get my next precept and I'm gonna end it out. It wasn't meant to be long anyway. Matthew 18:15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. Right. So, if it's an alt, you have an alt with your brother, you and that brother should talk that out amongst one another by yourselves. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. Meaning, hey, if you make up, it's all good. It's all water under the bridge. No hard feelings. We move on. But, verse 16, but if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. Verse 17. Here's the point. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church, to the elders, all right, of the church, man. But if he neglect to hear the church, shit. And if you neglecting to hear the church, all this counseling that has been done unto you, you neglect to hear the church. Let's see how the Lord, perceives it. Let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican, meaning cast him out. All right. Because if you was considered a heathen man, all right, in the land of Israel, we're gonna cast you out. You're no longer gonna be welcome. So that's that. If you ain't trying to hear, reprove and rebuke, and change with that, because at the end of the day, it's not just tearing you down. It's exhortation. It's to improve your way of living. All right. Yeah, brothers may get on your ass a certain way, especially if they've told you certain things over and over, depending on whatever it may be, but as long as you change with it for the better, over time, then it's all good, man. But hey, man, if you ain't trying to, change those ways and humble down and actually listen to what brothers are saying and walk in those paths, then you gonna be cast out as a heathen man or a publican. You're gonna be removed from the brotherhood. You're gonna be removed from the ministry. And this lesson is for myself and any other brother. I've been this spirit, the Lord has had myself around, and other brothers are gonna make lessons on the same topic, and that's been around for years. They've seen brothers from all types of so-called ranks be removed from this ministry, man. And we just pray that Yahweh Shem Shai continues to have mercy on us and continues to keep our mind in a place of non-complacency, all right, and keeps us to continue to thrive in his word and his will, But that's all I had. Lord willing, this was straight to the point and very edifying. With that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakapadash. Shalom. On to the next one.